evening, and for the best crew in Access Television, I'm Pat Keating. This is Roots Rock Live. You know, tonight's guest went from the guy next door, local fellow from West Roxbury, Mass., to an international instrumental sensation. We are so thrilled to have our good buddy, Patrick DeCoste. Patrick, great to have you out tonight.
Thanks. Always a pleasure to come.
It's our pleasure, and you've been on the show twice before. This is your third time. Obviously, a glutton for punishment, and we appreciate that. Tell me about. Let's give folks some background who maybe aren't familiar. Tell us a little bit about how you got first started playing music.
Well, I started out listening to my older brother play, and I remember him fumbling through "Sweet Child of Mine," and didn't sound anything like it. And you know, when I started playing, Ozzy was big, Guns N' Roses was big, Van Halen was big, so guitar was a big deal. And just started trying it out, started learning, you know, some of the songs from a lot of the bands that I was listening to. And over time, through talking to different people, having different teachers, you know, I just kind of got hooked and went from there. Started when I was about 14, 15 years old, and been playing for over 10 years.
Yeah, so. And great. Tell me about when this went, because I think a lot of people, you know, pick up a guitar and you know, play it badly. And but when did it for you go from a hobby, just sort of a casual thing, to an obsession? Was it right away, or?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, it's all relative based upon the period of time that I was playing in.
Yeah.
I mean, when I started out, it became an obsession to want to learn some of the songs on the radio. And then once I was able to do that, it was kind of like, now what's the next step? And it also was dictated by what was going on in my life. Once I went to college, I mean, my priority wasn't playing guitar anymore. It was doing the college thing. So, and then once I graduated, I was like, what am I going to do now? You know, I have all these nights free. I'm bored out of my skull. Yeah. So, picked the guitar back up, and, you know, over time, listening to different people, different songs, you know, inspired me to kind of pick it up and, you know, take it to another level. That's
probably the thing about, you know, the conversations, and you know, I mean, I can't claim to not be like a huge fan of yours. I mean, I'm just a huge fan, and we've gotten to hang out a little bit personally. But that's the thing about your story that I find most interesting, is that you had almost this hiatus in college. You sort of took some time off, and yet you still managed to achieve, I think, a skill level in terms of your playing that is at a very high level. How did you know, how did that happen, and how were you able to, I guess, make up for lost time, if you will?
Well, when I was in high school, when I first discovered instrumental guitar, Joe Satriani, Eric Johnson, Steve Ray Vaughan, that's when I was really focused in, and I mean, that music spoke to me, and that's what I wanted to do, to have the same, you know, give someone the same feeling that gave me when I first heard it. So when I was in high school, I mean, I was convinced that you put me next to any guitar player and I could hold my own. I may not have been better, but I could hold my own. And then once I stopped, now I'm still struggling to get back to where I was. And I know I can do it because I have done it. Yeah. But I just don't feel comfortable enough now as I did then. And it's just kind of like a personal challenge to myself to be able to do that.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Well, I think I can pay you no better compliment than to say that feeling that you're talking about from instrumental music, I certainly get it, and definitely from your music.
Well,
really,
thank you.
Yeah, very thrilled to have our good friend Patrick DeCoste. Of course, all of you with us tonight on a very special edition of Roots Rock Live. And of course, happy to have everybody watching online at rootsrocklive.com. Thanks for being there as well. Patrick, you want to start us off with a song? What would you like to start with?
Yeah, I'd like to start with Love and Misery.
Oh,
it's a song that I think started it for me. So.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. It's a personal favorite of mine. So thrilled. In fact, if I might, I'd just say that as soon as I heard this song, I was in my car in a parking lot in Needham, Massachusetts, and I picked up my cell phone and called you immediately and booked you that very moment. So thrilled to have him. One of our favorite songs, certainly one of our favorite guests. It's Patrick DeCoste, only on Roots Rock Live. Stay there.